And now back to your... And now back to your regular programming.
If you speak better to yourself.
You showed up for like probably the dumbest conversation we've ever had on this show.
Let's have that smile again.
Tell me how that happens. Physically should not happen.
Relax.
If you say it
Give me as well.
3 times a day, God will line it up.
He's just an absolute hack, and he gets his ass kicked by the teammates every week. It's just terrible.
My streak.
Welcome back to Hack City. Joe DeLeone, Sean Anderson. Today we're going to be doing predictions for the NFL season. We're going to break down how we see the playoffs shaping up before the season starts, before Sean disappears for a vacation. We're also going to react to Kyren Williams getting his contract. We spoke on that and expectations for what that deal would look like when the news was kind of brought up of if he was going to get the deal or not. Before we get into all this, Sean, did you see that they're getting rid of smelling salts in the NFL?
Yeah, huge, big time. You know what? Vulgar language at the top of the show alert. Pussy move from the NFL to do something like that. Really, really weak move from the No Fun League. And I have done zero research on the long-term effects of smelling salts on your head, or if they're doing something like that.
Who cares?
I think it's fine. You know what? If financial analysts and salespeople and suits are able to take Adderall all goddamn day to stimulate themselves and keep themselves locked in, professional football players should be able to take smelling salts on the field. It's up to if it's an imaging thing, like, oh, we don't want the image of them sniffing the adrenaline machine to get them going, then I get that. Don't put them on camera though.
That wouldn't shock me if that wasn't it. Here's my biggest thing with this is I need to get an official statement from the NFL, the rules committee, whoever was the decision maker on this. And I want a breakdown of why this was taken out of the game. Anyone who hasn't played football or done smelling salts, you don't understand the importance of smelling salts. I've used to hit smelling salts before games. I was a long snapper in college, and I used to hit them before games. And they got me locked the F in. I was always immediately locked in.
It takes you right into the zone.
I still remember
into the zone.
When Monty Sinisi came over to me and his hand over a cup, he said, "Hey, you want to whiff?" And I said, "Hell yeah." And I hit that. Best game of my life. Was one of the best games that I had my sophomore year, the first time I did smelling salts. It is so lame that they're taking this away. I have no idea if there is a negative side effect. I don't care.
I don't care either.
You think that? So we're worried about that. That's the smallest bottle of water you could have pulled out.
This is a regular size Fiji bottle.
That is not a regular size Fiji bottle.
I'm sorry. I guess we're freak shaming now. Put me on the freak list.
That's not a regular. Don't
get me on the freak list.
Don't you? All right, we're already off track from the smelling salt thing. I almost tweeted yesterday. I was going to text you about this. I was workshopping a joke. And I couldn't really come to terms with what I wanted to do, and I was going to text you, and I just never did. And I wish I did, because I think you could have helped me come to it. I was going to tweet something like, The freaks list I'm looking at is a lot different than the one you guys are looking at.
Hold on. Let's think of some. There's some real freaks out there in the sports world.
Well, no, that's not. I meant it as if it was some website that I was.
Oh, sure.
frequenting.
Oh, gotcha.
How are y'all just finding the freaks list? I look at it every day. Something like that. I didn't end up doing it though. Freaks list.
Freaks list. Oh, you mean my Instagram following? That's the freaks list.
You guys want to see my bookmarks tab on
Yeah,
Twitter?
yeah.
I got a special folder
Oh,
called freaks list.
If the bookmarks go, if the bookmarks go out, you can certifiably
Could you
see
imagine
that
we found out they were public this whole time? Could you imagine?
Sean Anderson would not be
Unrecoverable.
on a microphone in front of a camera for the rest of his
Oh,
life.
oh,
If
no,
those bookmarks
no.
come out, letting y'all know, and that's on for everybody else. So everyone that would say, "Oh, I don't care," show them. You can leak my book. You're lying. You're a lying liar.
No. There's some freaky shit in there.
There has
Real
to be.
freaks list.
That's why you got to bookmark it. I got to double back to that. Stumbling across. Have you done the? I got to go clear out a bunch of bookmarks, and then you stumble across what you were like bookmarking 6 months ago, and you're like, "What was I doing that day where I needed to save this? What did I want to do with this?"
Well, my memory's strong enough that whenever I bookmark something that was important or something I was going to use for, I don't know, like a story or for a TikTok or just like a stupid tweet or something I saw that was like, oh, this will be useful later. Whenever I see that and I'm scrolling through, I'm like, oh, I kind of remember what I was going to use that for. And then I'll unbookmark it because I'm thinking, oh, I don't really need this anymore. But the problem is I don't have a separate porn folder. So I'll be scrolling, and then I'll keep scrolling like, oh. I keep
You
going
see,
through.
I think
Do you have a separate folder?
No, I have a work folder and a regular folder. It's my organization.
So the porn's just in there, like
it's just in there.
Okay.
It's just floating around. And then every 3 scrolls refresh, there's
yeah.
some monster ads. Just a monster ads just shaking. I'm like, oh well, you know what? This is just where
That's
I'm at.
the real For You page.
Yeah. My organization is so bad. Like my if anybody saw the way that I organized my like music albums and stuff, it's all just chronological. I'm just adding singles. And if there's an album that I like,
Yeah,
I just add singles into
Logic either.
500 song playlists that have no it's just where I was. It's almost like a from 2016 when I got SoundCloud to now, I can track like every single song I put in historically. So I know exactly where they are.
Do you have no Logic and also no Logic?
I have one. I think I have one Logic
song
in my 1,500 plus catalog.
He doesn't have a whole lot to pull from.
Roll Call is a very good Logic song, and that's because he sampled Miss Jackson by Outkast. That's the one Logic song I listen to. I listen to spin-off cover songs, I guess, or remixes of a Logic song where he's talking about a very sensitive issue, and some artists flip the script and make a song about not wanting to take your own life into about taking lives. And that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. All right. We got to talk football. That's what the people here came for. Kyren Williams gets extended, and he could not have earned this contract more considering how low it seems this deal is, what he's going to be making in annual value. Kyren Williams, Rams running back, got a 3-year extension worth $33 million. It seems at face value, there's always a layer to this that I'm missing because I'm too dumb to try and understand how contracts work and the guarantees and all that stuff. But he's going to be making $11 million a year. That puts him pretty far down the list of top running backs in the NFL, which made this whole thing like kind of odd. He's 8th right now. Chuba Hubbard is making more than him. His total contract was more than him. Josh Jacobs is making more at 12. Alvin Kamara is 12.25. Jonathan Taylor, 14. Derrick Henry, 15. Christian McCaffrey, 19. And Saquon Barkley, 20.6. So he's behind some good running backs, but I'm shocked that he's not a little bit further up there considering the way that he's played and how impactful he's been. Last season, he had a league high 43% of the Rams' offensive touches. you would think that would have played heavily in the negotiations.
I think that it's a bit of a scumbag deal that they gave him because Kyren Williams is peaking and they know it. And they know that 2 years ago, ascension. Last year, beginning of what I would just call a 3 to 4 year peak. So they already got year 1 done. And then years of the peak, 2 through 4 are coming dirt cheap. And it's fine money and Kyren Williams is good, but he was, if this contract came a year later, we'd be looking at a lot more money because what he's going to do this year will be bonkers and it will be a lot more of what we saw last year. I don't project a big dip from him. 1,314 taking out of any passing, any catches or receiving touchdowns, which I assume he will get. It's highway robbery or what they're getting with Kyren Williams. And maybe, they took advantage of him because he came from a small school, a bad school, and now he's in the league and they're just kind of giving him
with that.
a little,
Shut up with that.
What did I miss
Are
here?
you in the middle of the show filling out your playoff
I haven't done,
predictions?
no, I have it written down numerically, but I don't
Okay.
have it in your bracket here.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. That was what I was assuming.
No, but I'm not.
I scrolled down
I
and I'm like,
understand how
there's
you'd be
no-
like,
I was actually about to end the show. I wasn't pissed. It was more so just I've had enough annoying things today.
That would
I'm
be
just not doing this. I'm not doing a playoff prediction segment. If you doing it in the middle of the show, that would have been a real fuck you to me.
Trust me, I was just putting it in. I didn't see the Sean section until now, so I'm not doing on the fly.
Okay, good.
And
good.
mapping out a
You don't
Kyren Williams.
you don't have to fill it out. You don't have to fill it out. I thought you were mid-take.
No.
Going through your thoughts. Oh, yeah, maybe the Commanders will be this seed and the Packer. No, we have very similar brackets so far, though. I wouldn't have crashed out. I'm like at my limit today. I would have just said, all right, well, cool. We're
But for
done
stuff
today.
that I've yelled at you on the show before, that is as warranted of a crash out deserving upon me. Like that is something where I think this about around this time this last year, I crashed out. And this would be
over something much less, over a technical issue that we needed.
I'm sure it's much less. I'm sure it's much less.
It could have gotten worked out at any time, but show prep happening in the middle of the show is definitely top of problems. To get back to what we were talking about, though, I'm glad that wasn't the case. I'm glad that wasn't the case. They kind of effed him. They really did kind of. I'm kind of shocked that Kyren's agent didn't push for more here. Maybe this was the circumstance of seeing how stingy some of these teams have been lately. Maybe it was just being happy with the circumstance. But you would think for a guy who had a league high 43% of his team's offensive touches and was a key piece in their success this past season, that they wouldn't push for him to at least get like $15 million a year to get money at the time. Get more than Alvin Kamara.
15 is where I think Kyren's fair at. And the Rams are there's so much talent on that team and there's so much money floating around that I'm sure there was a lot of the pitch of, well, this is the best we can do. Maybe we could adjust. Maybe we could do this and later down the line. But right now it's a low number, and it's a low number for a guy that saved their season last year. Genuinely, Kyren Williams on his back saved that Rams season with all the injuries that they were going through. He was the guy putting points on the board. The defense played fine at times, but when the offense was bad last year, it was at times. Kyren Williams was the only guy keeping them competitive in games. And when he popped off, he won games for them. He kept the Rams above water for when the whole crew came back nice and healthy. He was the player, the Rams 2024 player. If we want to do 2025, people might be throwing in Jared Verse. People might be throwing in Puka Nacua a year. But 2024, a year where he saves a season, he warrants $15 million. He warrants that for the next 3 years of his contract.
Well,
I'm shocked with the 11.
He's not getting it. And the other thing that's really effed about this, he's 24 years old.
Oh, yeah.
End of the contract. If it's a 3-year extension, he'll be 27. No, wait. His contract was up this year, so he'd be 28.
That's right on the
I'm not
bubble.
gonna pretend to like truly understand the time on these contracts in order. I should have written down and looked at that. Okay, 28. So now when he comes back around for that second contract, because they didn't give him a longer term deal and didn't give him a ton of money now, they're going to nickel and dime the shit out of him when he's 28.
Of course.
Or whoever he goes to, he might not even re-sign.
And it's going to be a problem with Kyren because right now he's a lean back. He's very physical, though. Super, super physical. reposted a clip of him today blocking the absolute hell out of a Cowboys player. And he does that in the games, and he runs between the tackles, and he will amass a lot of wear and tear in the next 3 years. It's brutal. It's a brutal position. It's a bummer because I can see the writing on the wall for Kyren where he gives it his all, and he's a true grinder in the backfield. 28 rolls around. I don't know. I don't know what that Kyren Williams at 28 looks like because we're kind of floating around ceiling, in my opinion. And for the NFL running back, 28 is the end of the line, basically, if you're looking at getting real money one more time. Unless you're the best back in the game. Unless you're Christian McCaffrey, then you're probably not going to be getting the massive money.
He's also not one of those like crazy juiced up guys that's springy and explosive. He's not Derrick Henry. He's not Saquon Barkley. He's gonna slowly regress in what he's able to do athletically. So at a certain point, hits 28 at the end of this contract, not going to be the same guy.
Hope he gets bulky. Hope he starts running like Samaje Perine. It's just a big, massive Kyren Williams.
Yeah, but I don't. But is that valuable?
No,
it's like a 4'8"
it's not.
Kyren Williams, who's already a 4'6" guy, at like 220. Is that really going to do anything for us?
No, I don't know what it would be for him. And he's not fast enough and scat back enough to be one of the guys that floats around forever. Like he's not a Justin Forsett where you could just slot him in and he's gonna make some
Mostert.
Yeah, he's gonna slot and make some plays for you because there's not a bunch of tread on him. Kyren Williams is going to get so much tread over the next 3 years. I hope to God, if everything stays put for player justice, for honor of the game, I hope to God the Rams win a Super Bowl in the next 3 years because I feel like he's going to be a player that leaves it all out on the field for that team. He is a classic football player. You should root for Kyren Williams if you are just a general NFL fan. I love these guys where it's like, I don't know many Rams fans, and the one that I do wears glasses and is irritating at times.
Ryan?
Oh, no, I know who?
Come
No,
on,
is he a Rams fan?
Yes.
Oh.
Why are you being mean? Why are you being mean?
I was mean to him on the timeline too the other day. But Kyren Williams is going to be one of these guys that anybody could root for. And if you're taking suggestions or you are new to the NFL, you're like, I need a player, I need a team, I need someone that I can just watch. Kyren Williams is that dude. Put him in your notes app and say, this is the guy I'm looking at all year. Kyren Williams. You're going to have a good time.
All right, let's move on to doing our playoff predictions for 2025. We're doing it right before preseason games kick off, minus the Hall of Fame game, right before Sean is going to be out living his European dream. Maybe he doesn't come back.
Optimally.
Maybe he doesn't survive Europe. We'll see.
Optimally.
But this is how we see the 2025 season playing out. This is how we're going to do this. I'm going to share my NFC teams, AFC teams that are going to get into the playoffs and let you react. You're going to then share yours. I'm going to react to yours. And then we're going to break down who we think is going to be our Super Bowl matchup. I'm going to start us off here.
Go crazy.
In the NFC, Commanders versus Falcons, 5 versus 4. 6 versus 3, Packers versus Lions. 7 versus 2, Bears versus Rams. And number 1 seed, not really a hot take, Philadelphia Eagles. Before I get to the AFC, thoughts? You don't need to fill yours in.
I'm just looking at yours. I'm just making sure because I like the way you have it presented here.
Okay.
1, you think Atlanta is winning the NFC South this year?
I'm all in on Kyle Pitts, man. I couldn't be more in on Kyle Pitts getting in all seriousness. You got Tristan Wirfs who's out there in camp right now.
That hurts.
David Walker goes down with an injury. I think that they're one Mike Evans / Chris Godwin injury away from being a game under 500, which they've been middling on. I don't think that they're the type of team that completely tanks and falls apart. Absolutely not. Baker Mayfield is too good of a quarterback with chaos happening around him for them not to succeed. But them going 7-10 this year, 8-9, it's totally plausible. I don't think it's a bad circumstance. I just think that there's a lot of duct tape going on, and it's one of the most fragile teams in the NFL. It is going to be the worst division in the league. the winner coming out of this is probably going to be
The NFC South's the worst division?
Yes.
It's better than the AFC South.
The AFC South at least has a Houston Texans team that can go 10-7, that can at least 11, 12 wins. The Texans, if they string together a good year this year, they're a 12-win team.
There's 2 teams from the NFC South that are going to make the playoffs, by the way. And there's only one from the AFC South. So the AFC South is by far worst division in football. 3 from the NFC North is shocking, Joe. And the third that you had was not the Minnesota Vikings, but the Chicago Bears. Is it the McCarthy reports out of camp that's swaying you off of them?
No, because
the Vikings are a better team top to bottom than the Bears, even though I have about as much faith in both.
See, I don't agree with that. I think that there's more talent on this Bears team, and I think that Ben Johnson is too good of a coach to me. He feels like one of these guys that steps in, hits the ground running. I'm not going to pick an all chalk bracket here. You got to at least come up with some teams that are like, all right, they weren't in the mix last year. Who is going to be the surprise team that does way better than everybody anticipated? We need a team like that with a first-year coach. It's got to be the Bears. Think about every year. We always start the season predicting chalk, and then boom, there's Giants first-year Brian Daboll gets into the playoffs. We get Jim Harbaugh getting the Chargers into the playoffs. We get Sean Payton taking the Broncos to the playoffs last year. Things are going to go wrong for some of these teams.
Brian Daboll made the playoffs?
You don't remember that?
How did that happen? How did the NFL let that happen?
They won a playoff game. They beat the Minnesota Vikings. You don't remember that?
Of course I remember. I'm just appalled. I forget about it, though. I forget about it because the Giants have been so...
Bullshit, you remember that. This is why I have faith. He's a good coaching staff. But they let dipshit Danny Dimes, dumbass...
You're challenging that I'm doing a fake bit over here. Yeah, how they got railroaded in the next round and Kirk had to check down to Hawkinson to end the game upsetting. On 4th and 10. Come on.
That was upsetting.
What an absurd season that was.
Regardless, though, I'm putting my stock in the Bears. It's not that I'm doubting JJ, but I think that they'll be a team that's right down the middle because
that's a skittish horse to bet on, brother.
Why?
That's a skittish. The Bears are the Bears, and what you're seeing out of camp from the Bears, and I will training camp overreact for this point, and I will try hard not to do so moving forward. What you're seeing from the Bears, it's not like, oh my God, this is new era, new team. You've never seen anything like this before in your life. You're seeing Caleb Williams, and it's a lot of Caleb Williams, and it's not a lot of, wow, incredible growth that we've seen from Caleb Williams. It's not Caleb Williams, perfect today at practice, best quarterback that's been in the building in 40 years. It's Caleb Williams tantrum into the net. It's Caleb Williams bad pick.
That was a bad video. That was very weird.
And I promise I'm not trying to be overreactionary here.
No, but they're getting all the frustration out. That's how I'm seeing it. I want guys fighting in camp. I want guys snippy. I want them on top of each other. I think if you're going out there not giving a shit, which if you watched Hard Knocks last year, it looked like they were going through the motions. I think Ben Johnson's capturing the frustration. It's like a group of dudes that haven't gotten laid in a long time. They're all just they all want to win. They're all coming together and they just really badly want to win. That's what it is.
You know, I don't mind that mindset because
they just want to come, man. That's all they want to, and they're gonna get their nut.
So Detroit was in a similar situation. I can't look at you right now. Detroit was in a similar situation, and Ben Johnson was a part of that rebuild process. So I understand that he might have some of the fundamental growth tactics to make that team a playoff team. But is he a Dan Campbell motivator that can just be the lightning rod for all the bullshit on the team?
Yeah, I think so.
I think he's too guru to be lightning rod.
ESPN breaking their own news that they signed a deal with NFL Network is so nefarious.
Well,
unbelievably nefarious.
You
can't break news about yourself. You can't do it. Just send me a notification to my fucking iPad that you just did.
One of the nastier things that's going to happen with this new ESPN NFL deal is that like all of the NFL reporting is going to come through ESPN first, and they're going to have the inside track on everything, which unfortunately, as I project, will very much harm a lot of the independent or non-ESPN reporters across the sports media landscape.
Not to take us too far down a rabbit hole, but Pablo Torre signing a deal with The Athletic makes me feel a lot better. I usually go to The Athletic for my analysis. It's actual good analysis that's not being impacted or swayed by sourcing. So there's thankfully still other sources. And I think that the product that's going to come from ESPN is going to really diminish over the next few years.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I hope they don't touch. And there's a lot of things I hope they do touch. And I hope they do make better. But we'll see.
All right,
okay,
let me get back to my – I'm going to move on to my AFC. 5 versus 4, Steelers 5, Texans 4, 6 versus 3, Broncos, Chiefs are the 3rd seed, Chargers 7 seed versus Bills 2 seed, 1 seed, Baltimore Ravens. Thoughts?
Wow, this is a good bracket. This is a bracket I cannot disagree with here. We are.
Thanks for that analysis.
I'm sorry. No, I'm going to do my
yours.
Joe, we in the AFC we're one team off. We have the exact same bracket. Well, I guess
Patriot. Oh shit!
Don't worry about it.
Awful segment.
Do not
by me. Holy shit! What is hosting? How do you host a podcast? Well, not to host a freaking podcast. Reading the doc and then just saying what's on the doc. I need to be
here
over the head. With
after this show, we'll go to the
sharp.
We'll go to the doctors. We'll get a nice little quick euthanization.
After the show, you're pushing me off the roof. React to my AFC. What do you have? What thoughts do you have? What do you not like?
I like your bracket. I don't know if I like the Steelers and Old Man Rodgers. I like the idea of the Steelers making the playoffs. I love the idea of the Steelers making the playoffs because if they're good and they're playoff caliber, then they're built for the winter. They're built for the cold. They are a tough, nasty team on defense and running the ball, and who knows what their quarterback situation is going to be in January. But I'm not ready to commit to a Steelers playoff berth this year. I'm not. I cannot commit to it. Aaron Rodgers, at this point in his career, I can't do it. Arthur Smith, I can't commit to Arthur Smith getting the Steelers offense really going.
They're running all tight ends, no running backs right now, man. This is the most creative offense. I'm obviously kind of speaking in jest. I think
they had beat. Look, if Arthur Smith actually learns from what happened in Atlanta, and this is not criticism time for him, but if he learns from what he did with Atlanta, Bijan Robinson's rookie year, he had like a very diminished workload, and maybe I'll be grateful for it this year if he's super fresh and super talented. But I don't think that's the case. I think he slow rolls rookies. I think he slow rolls talent to make sure that they're perfectly fine in the fish tank water when they get acclimated. So all this hype, like Caleb Johnson, it feels like a Steeler to me. Feels like a 10-touchdown Steeler to me as a rookie, 800 yards, grind them out. Look, the Steelers got another good running back. But with Arthur Smith's running back usage for rookies, I'm concerned that it's just going to be Jalen Warren's show, and Jalen Warren's show doesn't bring me to the playoffs.
Okay, so here's why I'm buying into this. The Steelers defense, top 3 in the NFL. It's loaded with talent. It's got veteran leadership. The whole team is very visibly going all in for one run to see if they can reach a Super Bowl. I really think that energy and Aaron Rodgers stepping in the way that he is, it all just funnels down. Teams vibe like that. It all just funnels down into we're putting everything on the line. We're just putting everything out there on the line to see if we can get somewhere this year. This is our last shot because next year we won't have a quarterback. We're going to have to go back to ground zero. We're going to have to sign somebody. We're going to be scrapping to figure out what the hell to do at quarterback. This is our last legit shot. And we're going to go back to being the team that's the last team in the playoffs or the first team out. They have to. And when you have that do or die type mentality, I think it translates. I think that it shows up. I think that this will be the last hurrah. And I think that Rodgers does have something left in him to at least launch himself towards one final attempt because he's not doing this. He's not coming back for money. He's not. He doesn't need the money. He's made an exorbitant amount of money. He's married now. He's happy.
He's not even making a ton this year.
He's got a tiny contract that he's making this year. A little bit of money. He is clearly in this to make one more final push. And this would not have come together if both sides weren't incredibly desperate. And I think the desperation meets for both ends what they both needed to create some sort of a weird, ugly, special moment.
I gotcha. I just, when I think of these all-in last run teams, I think it's tough to do with a guy that's there for his first run. Like 2013 Ravens, Super Bowl winners. Ray Lewis's final year. Ray Lewis was with the Ravens for what felt like 30 years. Peyton Manning, 2015, Denver. He had put in 3 really great years in Denver before that. We knew it was coming. We knew it was the last year. And they went all in for the old soldier after he had already broken a tremendous offensive records and still holds the passing touchdown records in a season. When that happens, I think there's buy-in because you have seasons like that, you have players like that, moments like that, that make other guys put the team before themselves, which is so hard to do in the NFL. This Steelers team, I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is charismatic enough in his age currently and attitude currently where a bunch of Steelers players are willing to go out there and die for him. They like him. They might like him. They might say he's a great leader, yada, yada, yada. But he has not enough goodwill with this Steelers team for me to think that the all run is going to be a playoff berth. I think it's going to be a winning season. I don't think they make the playoffs. I get to enjoy a season of Rodgers in the Steelers black and gold, and then we move on. And I think that's a fine way for the Steelers season to end. Other than that, your AFC bracket, I do not have a lot of qualms with.
All right, read me your NFC.
NFC bracket. Let's go. Number 5, Commanders, same as you, versus number 4, Rams. We are differing there. Our 6-3 matchup is identical. Packers 6, Lions 3. 7 seed Falcons, they just squeak in just by a hair. It might take a Week 18 miracle versus the number 2 Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, who's your number 1?
My number 1, the Philadelphia Eagles.
I don't have a problem with any of this, but why the hell are the Buccaneers your 2 seed?
Because they're getting a free 5 this year. They're going to sweep the Panthers. They're infinitely better than the Panthers. They're going to sweep the Saints. The Saints are terrible, and they're going to beat the Falcons once. And the Buccaneers are a better team than the Atlanta Falcons. They are. Right now, I am going to take a bet that Baker Mayfield is a better quarterback than Michael Penix Jr., even though I'd give my left nut for Michael Penix Jr. right now on the kitchen island.
Look, I'm fine with this. Both of them getting into the playoffs. It's like a fine projection that the Falcons finally get there and the Buccaneers win the division. But there's going to be a 1-game separation between these 2 teams, and the Buccaneers are probably going to be. If you told me they were the 4 seed, I'm good with it. To put them and project them ahead of the Rams and ahead of the Lions, I'm not going.
I think they're going to win a ton this year, man. I'm drinking the Bucky Irving Kool-Aid.
They're so banged up, and it's the beginning of camp.
They were banged up last year, worse than they have been. They
barely got to the playoffs last year.
And they still got to the playoffs, and they still did it.
But that's my whole point, though, is that they're consistently banged up. They don't have a roster of guys that are consistently healthy. Put them as the 4 seed. Why you put them above the Lions and the Rams?
They're going to win a ton of games because the Rams have a bigger injury concern.
Win 9 games.
They're not.
They're going to win.
They're not. They're
going
to win like 12 games, 13 games. The Rams have a bigger injury concern.
13 games for the Bucs.
Possibly.
This roster is not that good.
They're
to give
that
them
good.
13 wins.
It's a great team, man.
You're out of your mind.
You're sleeping on the Buccaneers. The Rams have a much bigger concern injury.
The Buccaneers.
I wish I'd be a champion if I was sleeping with the Buccaneers. I'd have a ring. I'd have 2 of them. You think I don't wish I was sleeping with the Buccaneers? Go screw. The Rams have a much bigger injury concern right now with Matt Stafford's back. The Lions have 2 brand new coordinators. I'm finally seeing the light on that. I don't know what Jared Goff is going to look like without Ben Johnson, who seemed to be the Jared Goff key to the Jared Goff keyhole to effectively unlock that goober. He was 1-15 before Ben Johnson rolled in.
Okay, both of those teams have better head coaches and overall better rosters. I can't go
the Bucs?
Yes,
Oh,
the
you're
Bucs roster
tripping.
is fine. It's fine.
It's a good Bucs roster, man.
Go look at their secondary. Their secondary's weak right now.
Thought we weren't supposed to chalk it up. This is my big call. Buccaneers are legit. Bucky Irving could have 20 touchdowns this year.
To make crazy aspersions and predictions here just to not chalk it up, but them at 2 is not the team that I would invest. I would feel like what I do with the Rams at 2 is a much more aggressive investment.
I think it's aggressive, especially if they're starting Jimmy Garoppolo for September. I don't think that's going to happen, but it could if Stafford gets a real tweak instead of back soreness. Taking these things into account.
All right. Read me your AFC.
AFC 5 matchup versus 4 matchup. Chargers versus the Texans. 6 versus 3. Broncos versus the Chiefs. Likened to Joe. 7 versus 2. Patriots versus Bills. And Ravens at the 1 seed.
Okay, we're both on the same page on the Ravens.
We both have 3
Can you talk to me about the Patriots? Because I can see the vision of them being the team that I projected the Bears to be. I just have 2 issues. It's not a brutal division, but you're in a division where you're getting your ass whooped by the Bills. Probably
you lose twice to the Bills. Yeah,
you're swept by them, and then you're hoping that you split with the rest of the division.
They sweep both of it. They'll sweep the Dolphins. They'll sweep the Jets.
I just think that this roster is pretty barren at receiver, at just every defensive position. They're young and they're improving. I feel like they're getting like a couple years away before they actually reach playoff contention.
I think they're just fine. I understand that. The Patriots have been awful. They have been an ugly mess of navy blue and gray blobs dancing across your screen in a disgusting gray backdrop in Gillette Stadium, where the field looks gray also. I'll note that. It's the least green field that we have in the National Football League when you watch it on TV. But I love the new hire of Mike Vrabel. That is a Patriots lifer. He is a dude who lives and breathes Foxborough, Patriot way, all that. I think they skewed a little too far away from the light of Belichick with the Mayo hire. Would I have given Mayo another year? Maybe. But Kraft and company expect dominance. And what do you get? Who do you associate with dominance in the NFL for a head coach? Mike effing Vrabel, who's coming in here with a big, dynamic, raw horse quarterback in Drake May who can throw the ball vertically.
Use another C word.
Horse. Oh yeah. You know what? I could have thrown that in.
I thought you were going to use a C word.
Enhance his bulge, please. Thank you. Funniest tweet that was going around. Love Drake May.
What?
You didn't see that? Drake May was taking a picture with somebody, with some girl. One of the replies was, "At Grok, can you crop the girl out and enhance bulge? Period. Enhance his bulge." I think the Patriots team, they have a cakewalk schedule, one of the easiest in the NFL. They're going to roll right along. I have hopes for Stephon Diggs. I'm hearing good things about Pop Douglas in the slot. I'm telling you, the rumor mill for the Patriots is hot right now. It's hot.
Just naming a bunch of names, man.
I'm picking up Pop on my fantasy team. I'm giving you a heads up about that. That's when you know it really matters. When I'm letting Cock Michaels Esquire field the team with Pop Douglas, that means I'm a believer.
That means your team's shit. Good luck.
Cock Michaels had a rough year last year.
You're asking, shocked. You're asking for miracle work right now. You're asking for miracle work. I think that they're going to be one of those teams that wins 8 ball games and misses the playoffs, and we'll be talking about man, they're the next team up, not a playoff team.
It's very possible. And for what it's worth, if it wasn't the Patriots at my 7, it would have been the Steelers sneaking in at 7. So they're right on my bubble.
This is where I have issues with this. They're not better than the Steelers. They will not finish. And I get Steelers in the
they have an easier schedule than the Steelers.
Okay. Super Bowl predictions before how loaded's the hack bag?
We have one voicemail that contains 4 questions, and we have another gross voicemail.
Hell yeah.
So we got a couple voicemails today.
All right.
And we got some questions also. So
all right.
Good.
All right. Super Bowl matchups. Here's my prediction, and then give me yours, and then we'll discuss. I think we're going to get Rams as the 1 seed trotting all the way through with their elite defense. And even if Derrick Henry starts to show some signs of aging, running back room's deep enough that Lamar has all the weapons around him to get through. And then I think that the Rams are going to go for one final aggressive push. They showed a young core last year that was good enough to do damage. I think that this upcoming year, they will have the momentum necessary with that young core. Where are you getting all of these water bottles? I
keep talking. I'm just drinking some water.
You know what you're doing.
This is your time to talk. When I'm not talking, I drink water. I'm not saying Am I doing that? Am I trying to talk while I'm drinking water?
No,
am I a ventriloquist?
But you're on your third
shit,
bottle
man.
of water.
God, I can't drink a bottle of water. How do you talk about the Super Bowl?
Where are they all coming from?
I put them down to my right so they wouldn't be distracting on the table.
Baby-sized Fiji water bottle, and then out came a Poland Spring bottle.
Yeah, I took it from work. I took my Poland Spring bottle from work.
How many are there?
The 2. I had 2. I had this
I
one.
don't believe
this
you.
one's done.
If you
and
pull
then
out,
I had this one.
You pull out a Dasani in the next 10 minutes. I will crash out over that. Not
How
over
am I getting yelled at for this? You were doing great. The Super Bowl preview was going great.
me.
God.
Yeah, I think that Matthew Stafford, with this defense, with this core, having an underrated draft class that they're bringing in, and signing Devontae Adams, who's been the epitome of health and availability to replace essentially the targets that you were giving to a consistently banged up Cooper Kupp. This is the year that they get there. Sean McVay wins the Super Bowl, retires. Matthew Stafford wins the Super Bowl, retires.
Yeah.
They call Stetson Bennett. They suck next year.
Love it.
And
Oh, you know
that's
what? You put me back on the train here with
I
Stetson
don't
Bennett
think he's
taking the
on
helm.
team anymore.
Who's their back? They have an exciting person
Garoppolo.
waiting in the well. No. Garoppolo is not the exciting young quarterback that is being trained by Matt Stafford. Come on.
Well, he's the sexy.
He is sexy.
quarterback.
He is sexy. I know they have somebody waiting in the wings.
They need to. If Stafford retires, I vote Garoppolo starts. They sign Sam Hartman, and then we're just gooning the whole season. We're just fucking gooning. Oh, they do still have Stetson Bennett. Dresser Wynn is the
That's not who I'm referring to. I'm not
the guy that they brought in. Dresser Wynn, what FCS team was he on? He was on an FCS team.
Oh, this might be bad.
They don't have anyone in the wings. It is Stetson.
I think I've
Bennett.
been pining for
UT Martin. Remember he signed like an NIL deal with like a super Republican like
Teddy. Bad haircut, Dresser. Oh my
yeah,
God.
shit haircut.
He had hair at one point. Oh, this is rough. Okay.
All
we
right,
don't need to be in the
all right,
Dresser win criticism moment.
What's your Super Bowl prediction?
My Super Bowl prediction: Eagles make it back to back. They're so built for the playoffs. It's unnerving how well this team is built. I hate this team. I hate how good they are. I hate how good their lines are, which is all that matters in the playoffs. And they have every asset that you could need. And you look at all the other NFC teams, and in just about every metric that matters for success when you're weighing it down for a playoff run, they're better. They're better than the Buccaneers at it. They're better than the Falcons, Packers, Lions, Rams, Commanders. They're better at just about everything. Do they have the best quarterback in the league? No. But everything else is clearing top two position groups, and a lot of them aren't two. So the Eagles just have it. They go to the Super Bowl this year, and you know who they face off with? They face off with the big horse. They face off with Josh Allen. Finally does it. I think the Chiefs take a respite this year. Still waiting to see how sharp Rashee Rice is. Still waiting to see what happens with Xavier Worthy and how they use him. Because if it's more of last year, I think other teams solve that. Travis Kelce, expect him to be a non-factor this season. So the weapons on offense are more of the same. The defense will be money, but the Bills have it. They have the juice. They have the momentum. The Hard Knocks is going to be boring, and it's going to be a lot of likable Josh Allen, but I'm not going to hate on likable Josh Allen. So I think the Bills really make the push. They've got a running back that's still in his young prime, coming off of a good year in James Cook. Eagles, Bills. And you know what? The Eagles beat the Bills, and the Bills still can't get it done. You thought I was going to root for the Bills. I will. But but the Eagles are clear the Bills in that matchup.
I pray that we don't get back-to-back Eagles.
Deion Dawkins, if that was a Super Bowl matchup, Deion Dawkins and Jalen Carter, if it goes to overtime, they should fist fight at the
I'm for that.
At the midline, 50-yard line.
Playing real football.
No overtime.
Yeah,
give me those two guys fist fighting, and then I think the country can agree these are our two best people. These are our two best.
I hate your prediction. It's awful.
Sure. I'm so sure. How is that? How you don't think the Bills can make it?
I understand that this is a podcast, but do I have to provide?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
No, I'm screwing with you. Look, could you imagine? If
I would have just let it
Can
walk.
you explain why? No, and then we move on. The best podcast in the world. There's no discourse.
There's no PS.
Just, no
filler. The no filler show. It's 3 minutes long.
The shortest podcast in the planet. No counters. It's the opposite of.
I love that fucking
first
Subway
take.
take show where it's supposed to be a take and it's just a conversation about a quirky idea. Give a take and leave. The video should be 45 seconds, not 2 minutes. Can't stand that. Just little irritating.
I got two problems here. I don't think that Sirianni's the type of guy to get his team back 2 years in a row.
I hope so.
Somewhat the NFC is breathing down his neck too hard that there's a chance the Commanders knock him off. The Rams are my team. I think they're going to knock him off. I then also, for the Bills' sake, I can't predict that the Bills, with my lack of excitement for their receiver room. They're a great roster, one of the best rosters in the NFL. But I am too invested in the Ravens to not get there after as close as they keep coming, falling short. I think that this is the real shot that they finally make it.
I'm excited for it. I'm with you, simpatico. You give me a call when Lamar shows up in the second round of the playoffs.
Oh, you're a Lamar hater.
You give me a call. You give me a call when that guy doesn't
Lamar
disappear. I want to love Lamar so badly. I'm the only person in this room that's seen Lamar in person. I'm sure my heart wasn't captivated. I'm sure I wasn't swayed by watching his unreal speed.
I've seen you in person, and I can't stand you.
Yeah, I gotcha. You're not get in line. It's a long one, pal.
All right, let's get to the hackbag. 201-834-4308. You can enter that line and call in and tell us why you don't like Sean. 201.
We'll take those calls. You know what?
4308.
That'll be hackbag for when I get back from vacation. We're gonna have a lot of shows, a lot of content
call
for
in
you.
as much as you can.
Call in and load the voicemail line. If you want to do reasons why you hate me, go ahead. I'd like to hear them.
Please do. All right, what do we got?
The mail never stops.
This is the Hack Bag. Hit us on Twitter for questions or call at 201-834-4308.
All right, let's start with Scott's voicemail. There's a lot in here. We're not going to be able to answer all the questions in one. Well, we'll get to that in the voicemail here. We're not going to be able to answer all of the questions in one go, so we're going to do a restart after the. So we're going to do it like radio here. Just stay with us.
Oh, no.
It didn't get cut off, but we have to temper
This
ourselves.
isn't going to take 20 minutes.
I think we'll be okay. All right, let's hear from Scott.
Hey guys, it's Scott from South Jersey. First, wanted to say, really disappointed in Joe. I mean, breaking the controller. 2 weeks. It's been 2 weeks. You couldn't make it 2 more weeks without breaking that controller. Oh,
I didn't know you were on my side. I would have.
Yeah, he's very disappointed in the controller action. 2 weeks. Scott is wondering why can't you keep a controller?
I would have, if I had known, I would have been against you if I protected the remote. I would have absolutely been a lot more conscious of it.
That's why.
And now I have Sean's remote, and so I can't break it because it's Sean's remote because I don't want to have to pay Sean $60.
You break that remote, I'll cut you a friend deal. How about that?
Don't offer that to me.
I'll cut you a deal on that.
Don't offer them. Oh, is there a second bet that's been created?
No, there's no second bet. But if you break that remote, because I know it's one of your outlets.
No, opposite. If I break the remote, I owe you $100. I need something on my head.
Deal.
I need something on my head right now. Otherwise, I will break it.
Deal. 100 works.
The relative affordability for me to buy a $30 remote, makes it too easy for me to not be able to stop myself in the moment.
Okay, that works. All right, cool. All right, well, let's hear from Scott.
But Sean, let me know when you're coming down, South Jersey, Philly area.
Where's my invite?
Paying for a Philly burrito for you, and then one for me. And Joe, that is a Philly cheesesteak wrapped in a giant pizza slice. So, Joe, you can come down, but you're paying for your own damn Philly burrito. I'm not paying for yours. I need more information about Sean at WWE tryouts.
It was fun. WWE tryouts was a cool time.
You didn't want to poop your pants?
No, I didn't want to poop my pants in the ring. I had a situation where I could have.
That could have been your name.
All right, I'll tell Joe. Did I tell this on the show? I didn't tell. Okay. I told Joe about why. So it was pitched to me that I could go into the ring and go up on the turnbuckles and do some rolls and stuff. But the situation that I was dealing with was I had some nice pants on, regular bad black shirt with my man boobs everywhere, and then I had underwear on. Nice, good work for Sean.
He was wearing underwear at work.
The underwear has a huge hole.
Is that not common?
Yeah, it is common. But
underwear?
Honestly,
wait, what's common? Not wearing underwear?
No, wearing underwear. Wearing underwear is common.
Have you showed up to work not wearing underwear before?
No, I have not. And
good.
Because of
good to check.
How sweaty I am on my walk-in, I always have an extra pair of underwear as well for my post-work shower. It's a good ritual here. But I didn't want to go in and start rolling around in the ring because in this underwear, there's a hole in the back of them and it's right where the hole shouldn't be or where you wouldn't want it. Dead center, looking right at the kisser. And that can't be possible.
Hold on. You would have made an impression.
Yeah.
Your butthole comes out. You would
Mhm.
have made the biggest impression, unintentionally a pun there. You would have made the biggest impression possible. You would have been the guy who either shit himself or everyone saw his asshole. And that would have gotten you a tryout. You would have been you would have been something that WWE has never had. There are not many, I'm trying to say this as friendly as possible. There are not many wrestlers these days with your build.
Right.
You're not as big as Andre the Giant, but Andre the Giant was dumpy. I'm not calling you dumpy. I'm trying not to call you dumpy.
7'4",
Not
500
in shape.
pounds.
Not in
Correct.
shape.
I am in awful shape. I am in hideous shape.
They could use an offensive line build, I think, right now, and your whole shtick could be your asshole comes out every so
You see, that's not good for TV, though. You can't watch that. You can't turn in to a WWE match and
you got to
see all
cut the
that.
commercial, and everyone goes, "What happened? What happened?"
Maybe that
There was
gets
free
ticket sales.
nudity.
You
Yeah,
just know
maybe.
it's going to happen. So that was rough. The wrestlers were cool. It was impressive watching people fly around acrobatically. It was depressing watching people's dreams die when they couldn't cut a good promo and they were kind of on the chopping block. So that was tough watching some people go out there and
how can you show up and not be able to? I'd be practicing.
they tried.
That.
It's hard.
I wouldn't be practicing any of the other shit.
They were. It was like, no, you can't go interview these guys right now because they're working on their lines for their promos, and you'd be walking around at the craft service table getting a water, which I would, happily taking a little water there. And these guys are locked in. No, this was from the war room today. I took this out of a meeting.
Okay.
In front of somebody who had a name tag. So I guess if there was a meeting after me, they didn't have a Fiji.
I get fucked.
But these guys were running through their lines like just really intent because they knew they had to nail it.
Could you cut a promo?
Oh, I could cut a promo. If they brought me up on that promo, here's what they shouldn't have done. Here was my plan.
You could have gone up there and talking about, I'm going to shit my pants in front of you. That would have been your promo.
You need to have what I would have done for the promo. I would have had a plant in the crowd that where I go out and I start cutting my regular just a regular. You have never seen somebody like me in this ring. You've never seen it. And somebody, we're kind of in a gymnasium and you could see, people that are in the stands and walking up and stand up. I would have had somebody stand up and act like they're going to the bathroom. And I would sit down. You sit down while I'm talking up here, and you don't get up. You will piss your pants if I have the mic. You will load your britches. You don't leave while I have the mic. I would have planted somebody, so I could have had that, and maybe they don't even know that I planted them. I would have completely commanded the room, and I would have gone after the crowd.
See, I don't have a wrestling mind, so my first thought was when you said I would have had a plant, and I would have stated, you've never seen anybody like me, and then you have somebody round the corner and come up onto the mat that is the same size and build as you.
There's one other guy.
It's not even a promo. You're just doing gag, awful gag prop comedy. It's like, what is this?
So now I'm doing cutaways.
I thought this was improv. I thought this was the improv.
No, but I would have liked to turn it, appear as a baby face, turn it heel whenever I felt like the crowd was disrespecting me, like a real prima donna. I would have been, hey, Baldy, why don't you sit down? Or if it was a fat gentleman, hey, fatty, plant it. Or if it was a small person, hey, pipsqueak, where are you going? I'm attacking the crowd there, and that's what I would have to work it with.
It's a shame that you didn't do that. All right, what do we got?
Where are we? Oh, sorry, Scott.
Got to hear more information about that, and definitely think the Big Dumper and Boner would be a hell of a tag team.
That's what we're looking for
in the WWE. So get on
Boner,
that, boys.
What do you mean? No Boner.
It's the question. My hack question for you for the hack bag is: what are some of your favorite nicknames and backstories of some of your teammates in school and maybe just other football players that you know? All right, buddy. Talk to you guys later. Love the show.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate that. Great call. Great question. Big Nasty's the audio.
First one you go to.
Yeah, because did we have anyone else that had a nickname?
Dummy. But that was just Baltimore slang, and I was just carried over.
It's kind of one of those things.
And Dummy didn't like being called Dummy by people that weren't from Maryland.
Right. Which was ironic because everybody called him. I don't even know what his first name was.
Oh.
Or don't say it on the show, but I don't think I know what his first. I know what Big Nasty's first name was.
Well,
Big Nasty lived up to that. First one of the first days in the weight room, he's talking about how he wants to get his ass ate. And
That's a freshman.
As a freshman, as an 18-year-old, everyone around him said, "What the fuck?" It was one of those things where nobody was like, "Oh yeah, that's reasonable. We're all aspiring to have our ass ate."
Yeah.
No, a 330-pound man wanted to have his ass ate.
Yeah, and also that was
I praying for anyone who did. So I'm sure someone did.
Normally, freshmen get up and they stand in front of the team and they have to introduce who they are, where they're from, what position they play. And normally, you're a freshman and looking at grown men. You're like, Sean Anderson, Alexandria, Virginia, offensive line, and then a couple of Virginia guys. And then you're just like, oh my god, I want to die.
You were ready for the spotlight.
Big Nasty walked up. He said, "Yo, I'm Big Nasty from Connecticut. I play O-line." And everyone's like, wait, what's your name? He said, Big Nasty. Call me Big Nasty, bro.
Oh, I remember this.
You remember that?
People get mad. Like, what's your name?
Coach Flem had to interject. He said, this is Keith. And
people were getting pissed at that. They were like, who does this guy think he is?
Yeah. And he's like,
I'm going to cut a promo.
Hey, it's Keith Coleman. Okay. All right. Next. Next. We're like, all right. Well, that's Big Nasty. And we're going to know him as Big Nasty. It takes a lot to get there. Raruga was always fun for me. The offensive line, it was not super team wide. I was happy with my nickname. I always will be.
Oh, I forgot your Big Smoke.
I don't want,
no one calls him that anymore.
No one definitely does. But if I'm around the fellas, I'm not getting called Sean. Smoke.
I don't think I've ever called you Smoke.
And I appreciate that.
Nor would I ever call you Smoke.
Yeah, that's better.
I forgot you had a nickname.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Did anyone else have any good nicknames?
Called Kev Big Worm for like 2 years because he looked like Big Worm. Love
Rack, don't ask that question. He asked about Griffin Sachs didn't have a.
Oh no, he didn't have it. He was part of the Penguins.
He was the guy who.
You had a nickname.
He was the. The specialists were called the Penguins because we used to all huddle together when it was cold outside.
That's not bad. Try to think. Wayno. We didn't have a ton of nicknames. It was mostly just abbreviations or shortenings of names. Like AP, it was
Zay,
yeah, a lot of Zays.
God, we gotta be missing someone. You got to be missing someone.
D1. Now I'm going through them all. D1. D for Dino. Yeah. I mean, it also plays on like if you had a gamer tag or if you had something attached to your social media, your Instagram, like D1 Dino. Like everyone just called him D1. D1. Yeah. So much. Yeah.
No, I can't. Yeah, I guess I can't think of anyone else. All right, let's get to the second one before we get out of here.
Sure.
201-834-4308. Call into the damn phone line, please.
Good afternoon, boys.
Good evening,
Rack.
Still not Rack. Okay,
Bingo.
So gentlemen,
you're Rack.
You started talking about some FCS football. I'm thrilled. I'm happy, but it was a little short. Kind of feel like Joe's girlfriend at the end of the night. There was something more to be wanted. So make it last a little bit longer, Joe.
Very.
So, anyways, Sean.
Yeah.
I gave you great dating advice.
No,
homeless girl, cemetery flowers. Yeah, the trifecta is take her to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you hold the popcorn. And what you do is you poke a hole in the bottom of the popcorn bucket and you insert your member in there. And while she's feeling around for the popcorn, she reaches down and bam.
Take it out if you're going to do that.
Instant hand action. She loves it.
I
You
want my
love
dick
it.
on the popcorn. I'm eating the popcorn.
I wouldn't eat any more of the popcorn. I'd just let her eat on it or whatever.
Nice.
But, there you go. That's a guaranteed win. Maybe you try it on the airplane on your trip. See if you can get a bag of popcorn or a bucket of
Sit next to my boys. We're all in a row.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do that.
So, have a good one, gentlemen.
Yeah, really worried for your friends on this flight. Also, the whole point of the popcorn gag is it's really dark in the theater. There's the reason why people hook up in movie theaters. Nobody can see. You know,
I can see everything.
You start smelling fish in a couple rows back.
Oh, you're disgusting. You need to go in timeout, man.
The only way that you're going to find out is if you start smelling stuff or you start hearing, some sloshing, some moving around.
You are
shouldn't be moving around.
Disgusting.
Shut up.
What is wrong with you? Sloshing?
Well, if they're really getting after
it. Yeah. If you're sitting in the Marvel, you're and you're like, oh, what is that? Is that Foley?
You're doing...
No, is that my row? Who's flipping burger? What is this? Oh God!
You're getting mad at me.
What horny ass theaters are you going to?
Well, not many. But the other thing too, no, I'm not ruining the popcorn. I'm going 90% of the reason I'm at the movie theater is so I can eat the popcorn. I used to walk into movie theaters, buy popcorn, and walk out just because I liked eating movie theater popcorn.
The first thing I think about when someone brings up that disgusting popcorn gag is one, Shorty's gonna have to eat a lot of popcorn to get down. You know, she's gonna have to work through a lot of popcorn before she starts touching wood. And then there's
children's size bags.
But here's what I'm certain of: there's been some dude who tried to pull this off, and she was the girl that he was hoping to get with this gag, disgusting old 70s gag. She took so long to get to it that he softened up. He put his dick away and then just ate and him and his girl just ate dick popcorn the entire night. Like somebody's done that. Somebody has certifiably eaten popcorn that's come off their dick because he didn't keep a rod long enough in the movie because his girl was watching the movie.
Well, so
he was trying to shuffle it out and get it deeper. It didn't matter.
Because that's the problem with this. Is the minute you stick your hog in the bucket of popcorn, you better hope like real quick thing, like she's getting down in there. You're not getting the big bucket. You got to get the medium-sized bag.
I'd
of
fucking
popcorn.
pat people down if I owned a theater. If I saw some scissors or a razor, it didn't matter. Anything that could cut a hole, you're
Also,
not watching a movie, sir.
The operation of cutting the hole, no one's ever talked about that. When are you supposed to do that? You got to hope she gets up to go to the bathroom before the movie, and then you're the weird pervert with all the lights on, sitting there cutting a hole in the bottom of the popcorn bag. Everyone's going to see what you're doing.
You know what else?
What if you mismeasure? What if you cut the hole too big? Which is probably most guys.
What if you cut it too small and you got to really just jam it through? And you're like,
Also,
what's up? I was scared by the movie.
Here's the other part too. Again, assuming she doesn't get up during the beginning of the movie, you got to take your cock out with the lights on. With the lights on, with everybody around. You're going to a matinee when no one's in the movie theater? We went to a matinee when no one was in the movie theater. Maybe if you go to, what was that shit movie we saw? Actually, it wasn't shit.
What do you...
Francis Ford Coppola.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, fucking God. How can I not remember the name?
Megalopolis.
Yeah, Megalopolis.
That was one of the best movies I've ever seen. Top. I wish I was high during that.
I saw that sober somehow. That was insane. I'm going to rewatch that in an altered state for sure. Here's one other thing. You know, there's been some sicko that's tried to bring his own pre-cut bucket to get it filled with popcorn. And it's got like there's like a little piece of tape hanging off the bottom. Like, no, we have to
fill this up.
We use our own buckets here. It's just kind of our policy. But I have a bucket and
it's really crusty on the edges.
I really appreciate. Yeah, it's all mangled. Like it's obviously been used. Oh my God. Yeah, I'd arrest that person. Anybody trying to do any type of funny business in a movie theater.
Take your dick out in the movie theater, man.
Holy hell.
If you want to get about this, it's not worth the gag. Or do it at home.
Stupid offering, listener. Bad offering. I'm not pulling
rack. It's rack.
Uncertified by that. I'm not pulling the member out in a movie theater. I'm sorry. I'm too old now. Yeah. I'm not getting down like that. And also, I don't need the possibility of a stranger seeing hog. Because in a movie theater, I can see everybody. I'm tall enough. I can see what everybody's got going on. You know, teenager vaping, mom on her phone. Like I could see it all. So I don't need to be seeing all that. And if I saw it, I'd get very unruly and demand my money back. And I'd want to watch the rest of the movie from the screening room with the projectorist.
In front of the projector.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Beam it right into my pupils.
Get as close as possible. Facing the projector. I don't know how long it would take to go blind doing that. Oh. All right. Call in for when Sean gets back. 201-834-4308. At Joe DeLeone. I was going to see how long the silence goes. At Joe DeLeone at Samson Radio. At Hack City Pod. We'll be back in some time. Oh, wait, you're back on that Sunday. Are you?
Are
we doing a show that Sunday? Or are you
we'll have.
I kind of want Blender show. I want you in a.
You want me coming off of that flight? Coming. Here's my bit. By the way, I know I'm going to be technically on vacation. I will not be missing a beat when it comes to Twitter. I will be following football.
He's gonna miss every.
Tell me if you like this bit. My three
tweeting
takes
4 hours late to everyone.
Well, I'll be ahead of everyone. I guess
no, a lot of things are gonna happen while you're sleeping, man.
Well, then I'll wake up palatial picture every day
club.
with my 3 sports reactions from that day's news cycle. That's the way I can get my vacation content in and not miss a beat.
I think you should react to everything on a very visible delay. I think that would be a lot funnier.
Well, I'm only gonna be 6 hours ahead.
But you're gonna be asleep when a lot of things happen at nighttime.
I bet you're still going to bed earlier than I am. I bet my 6 hour advance on you, you're still turning in earlier than me.
That was what the line was.
Yeah. So if you're falling asleep, I know for sure that's going to happen. At bar in Italy, there's going to be a night where there's no sleep, and because you got to see the sunrise from the bar. So I think you're definitely going down before me.
Probably. Nothing going on. Nothing. You're gonna come back. I'm not gonna be here. Nothing.
What do you mean you're not gonna be here?
I
Where are you
don't
gonna
know.
be?
We'll see what my.
You're gonna be in a ditch.
No, might just walk into the Hudson. Who knows at this point?
Very nice.
Just become a dolphin. I'm not gonna kill myself. I'm just gonna become
a dolphin. You know, you could be dolphin man. You know how New York City has like carpet man, where there's guys that just pretend to be carpets in the streets. That people like walk over, and their whole bit, I guess the way they get their rocks off and or excitement out of this is that they're blending in so well that people don't even know there's a person in that carpet. You could be one of those guys.
Sure. But a dolphin.
Yeah, but a dolphin. Yeah.
All right.
Be a big fake dolphin swimming around.
We'll talk to you guys later. Enjoy your time off from us and Sean. I don't know if it's not a